Welcome. I am Molly Thrasher from Try Freedom Stories, and we are sharing the success stories of local communities who have innovative solutions to social issues. And today we're talking with Susie Cunningham, who's the Executive Director of the Community Foundation of Orange, and Megan Penn, who's the Executive Director of Orange Homegrown Farmers Market and Artisans Market. Thank you for being with me today.
Thank you for having
Thank you
us.
for having us. Yeah.
So currently you have a project going on where volunteers are making a simple orange sign, and these can go in people's yards and they can write a sort of positive message for their neighbors. So how did this collaboration come about between your two groups?
Take it away, Megan.
Well, at least from my end of things, it started, I had a neighbor a few doors down, Mary Murphy, who wanted to kind of start getting our neighbors involved in putting something orange in their window just to show some community spirit. So I had some paper in the garage. My girls and I were drawing an orange as my husband walked in the door and said, "What are you doing?" Explained this what we were doing, and he's like, "No, this is not going to do." So he walked into the garage, saw that we had some plywood lying around and some paint, and built us a little orange sign in our front yard. And I put it on Facebook, and Susie saw that, and Susie gave me a call. And then, Susie, do you want to jump in?
And I said, hey, I think that we could do something for the community here with these signs. What do you think about us producing them and then donating, the proceeds to Waste Not OC for meals? And then we started talking about how that would look and provide money for the farmers the farmers market had been shut down. So the farmers that were typically there were losing money for their families. So Megan and I just kind of, hashed it out and thought, well, could we really do this? And how would we make it work?
How did you manage to scale it up so quickly? You went from 0 to overnight, everybody in town had these signs in their yard.
Well, the power of social media and also just leveraging partnerships. So the Community Foundation of Orange has a very strong connection with one of the local Home Depots here in Orange. They helped us with our Field of Valor event. So I told Megan, I said, I'm pretty sure that I can get them to donate material for us. So the next morning I made a call there, and I think a day later we got the okay, and we ordered up a bunch of plywood and all the paint and all that kind of thing, and then started farming it out to people and giving them templates that Megan's husband had made. And people were cutting plywood in their garage and painting them. And then, social media was really how we got the word out. And once we had enough signs out there in the community, people were just going crazy. They're writing these cool messages on them, and everybody's out walking. So they're looking and they're like, where'd you get that?
Mm-hmm.
It's been really amazing to see the amount of people really that have reached out that want to get involved. I think so many people are kind of stuck at home. This was really a creative way to get people involved from their home, from a social distancing sort of way. And I don't think when Susie and I chatted, we realized it would go on for this long and might continue again at some point. But the amount of time that so many of these volunteers have put in has been truly amazing, absolutely amazing. I don't know if it's because of the situation and the times and because people are really just trying to give back, but it's been overwhelming. The Community Foundation board members have just been going above and beyond. Our Orange Homegrown board members have been doing a lot of deliveries with signs. It just really has been amazing with the additional people in the community, like neighbors walking by and giving donations to Susie, or calling and saying, hey, why don't you bring some over across the street to me? My kids are home, we'll paint 30s. So it's really just been a true community effort.
It's just brought community spirit together. And when we send you pictures of the signs, you'll see that some of the messages that they have on there is, we love Orange, Orange strong, unity, faith, not fear, just all these great positive messages that people are putting on them. And that's what we were hoping for, is not only as a way to raise money that's going to have a really, really big impact, but for people to get involved in something in a positive way because they have time on their hands, and then just to come together. And I think our vision has been realized, like in a bigger way than we thought, Megan, don't you think?
Bigger, much bigger. It's been amazing.
Tell me about the farmers that you've been working with on this as well, because you've been making sure that some of the produce that they would have sold at the market goes to this Waste Not OC. Were they happy that somebody was taking the initiative and helping them and helping this food not go to waste?
Very much so. So some of our farmers, they're all small family farms that participate in our market. The market will be 8 years old in 2 weeks, which is very crazy to say. But some of these farmers have been with us from when we first opened our doors. And so they're like family. And so when we had to close, part of the market is run on Chapman University's campus and part is run in the city street. And when this all took place, everybody needed to take a step back and kind of reassess. And it was very hard to close the doors for them and for the community involved. So they're extremely appreciative. I mean, this money really is helping them get through this pandemic time so that when we're up in full capacity and the community can be out in full force again, that they'll still be around to be part of the farmers market. So it really is huge. And it really has a large impact on them, as well as Mike Laracas from Waste Not OC, who we just chatted with, and we're trying to confirm our pickup orders right now with some of the farmers for next Saturday. So they're extremely excited and thankful for such a large donation.
Orange County is known as an affluent area. Do we have issues of hunger in our own backyard?
Susie, do you want to jump in, or do you?
Absolutely, we do. I mean, you think about, the homeless population, the motel kids. You look at what's happening now with food banks and, the 4-mile long line for Second Harvest Food Bank at the Honda Center. You have people that are out of work. They can't put food on the table right now. And, in the past, one of Mike's things, Waste Not OC, is he was just seeing all this food go to waste and saying, why is that happening? There has to be a way to package it correctly, to transport it to the proper places that can use it. So a shelter that can take hot food, he figured out how to get it there. Shelters that could only do, or food banks that only do cold food, he figured out how to do that. He would go to the farmer's market at the end of every Saturday and pick up the leftover produce and take it back and figure out a way to make a meal out of it, package it, and get it to people in need. So there's a huge need.
So Susie, the Community Foundation's motto is "Give Where You Live." Do you think communities with more collaboration and connection tend to take better care of their neighbors?
Absolutely. I think that's one of the strengths of the City of Orange and the nonprofits, we try to partner with as many groups as we can so that we can keep all of our resources here, and we call it the Greater Orange community, but with a specific focus on Orange. So when we had a chance to partner with Orange Homegrown, it's like, wow, they're giving so much of themselves, our board members, the community. You just give where you live, and the more you can collaborate with people, with the different organizations, nonprofit or other businesses, of course, it's going to strengthen your community.
Mm-hmm. And for anybody watching this, though, in other communities, how can they start something like this themselves? And what advice would you give them if they are just starting out? What do you wish you had known?
Well, I wish I'd known how much time it would take from start to finish for a sign. I don't know. We were winging it. We were literally flying by the seat of our pants, but it just came together because everybody that was touched by this project had a passion for it. And so I think when you have people who understand what you're trying to do, that's the thing. I think if Megan and I, if we'd said, oh, let's just do a fundraiser for our individual nonprofits and leave it at that, it wouldn't have been as successful, because this has an impact on not only, the market and their vendors, but Waste Not OC and the hungry here in Orange County. So I think just the more you can collaborate together and don't be afraid to fly by the seat of your pants, really.
Yeah. Thank you for talking with us today, Susie and Megan. Thank you. And I know that right now you aren't currently making more signs because it was just too successful. But thank you for doing this for our community. And people can still check out what you say, your respective websites, and give them some information about where they can find out more about your organization.